Wait, I thought I was hungry. There was. Isn't that right, Robert? Pattinson? Oh my god. D'Angelo leans over and whispers in your ear.
Suck my fat vampire dick.
You don't feel like it, but you give him a nod nevertheless. He leads you down to the vehicle he's parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively. Oh, oh, the eyeballs are moving. I just noticed that. Anyways, everything inside is just the way you remember it. Down the rearview mirror reflecting the intense stare of your guide. However, the trip itself feels notably different. The last time Qadir drove you around, he was forcibly dragging you away from your old life. This time, he's pulling you back into it. Don't do anything that would violate the masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes of contact. I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will meet. Take this chance to wrap everything up. Here's your story. You're fine, found yourself at a crossroads, decided to radically change your life and move out of the city. The subway is unbearable, the rent is too high, they've heard it all. However, you wouldn't leave for good without saying farewell to the only person who cared. He gives you a compassionate stare. You're a fresh corpse. People you meet can still leave a mark on you. One night, a long time from now, you'll realize humans collecting those wounds. Oh. You take a look around and recognize your destination. He was right. It is a familiar place. It's right next to that exhibition space, the one where you met your future sire. This is where you saw Emma for the last time. That's what your sister is trying to find out. I took the liberty of messaging her in your stead. She's up there, waiting for you to come and explain yourself. He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. You silently leave the car and head straight for the exhibition space. The elevator ride up just doesn't seem to end. After what feels like 5 hours but in reality is closer to 30 seconds, you finally reach your floor. Honestly, I'm kind of curious what her sister is doing, what's her job, and whatever. Em is standing there, looking at the paintings. She's trying to act carefree but is holding onto her bag a little too tightly. When she hears your footsteps, she's startled. Then she sees you, and her eyes immediately fill with tears. She runs up to you and gives you a hearty hug. God damn it, Lamar! God damn it! You stay in her arms silent for a little while, The bonds of blood run deep. This feels right. You're so cold. What happened to you? You look into her eyes and start searching your heart for a lie that would satisfy her, if only a little bit. There was a sudden opportunity. Shit. Soul searching? Fuck that. Okay, I'm gonna use this. So, you see, I met this man, and he was interested in the art I make, and he was from the other side of the world. You stop mid-sentence. It's perfectly obvious that you're not exactly telling the truth, and her expression makes it obvious that she knows. What happened, Lamar? Talk to me. Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna feed on her. I have this. I'm hungry. All the life-saving work she's sent your way, from that concept artist job to this very exhibition? I've been losing my mind. Talked to literally everybody I know to ask where the last time they saw you was. All the time she helped you get your shit together. I've always been honest with you. The least you can do is return the favor. She has, and she absolutely deserves to know. But she can't. Qadir is waiting downstairs. Her voice startles you. Your first instinct is to run. And like the beast you've become, you trust it. No more? You can't do this. Not now, not like this. She watches you, kindred, an undying creature of the night. Zoom away from her, run into the elevator, and press the ground floor button. This might be the last time you ever see each other. This is kinda sad. I'll send you a message. Don't search for me. I'm just gonna say we'll meet again. I swear I'll see you again, okay? One last lie as your farewell. She's too stunned to react as the elevator doors closes. You slide down the wall, hiding your face in your arms. You find your own priorities disgusting, but what gets you down the most is not the fact that you failed to give closure to the only person you cared about. It's more that you failed to make this farewell beautiful. It makes you feel like a creature of an artist. Even with all this newfound power, you still can't express yourself through the canvas of your life. You're still stuck in your old ways. But you know Em. She'll take the pain you've caused her and use it to make art that resonates, that sells. What if authentic trauma is the best gift you could find to repay all her generosity? Jesus Christ, you're disgusting. If you consider all those emotions commodities, no wonder you're a failure as an artist. The elevator doors open. Better run while she's still up there. Back to Qadir's car. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal. Walking off the pitch with no regrets, said everything you had to say? Yeah, that's what I gathered from here. I'll keep an eye on the situation. Placate her somehow if you won't stop looking. I've got some well-tested methods. Non-violent, of course. It gives you a good stare via the rear-view mirror. You're an artist, aren't you? The car speeds up to cross an intersection before the light turns red. You give Qadir a good hard look. Thank you. I guess that's the only best thing I could say, honestly. It doesn't feel like a, how do you call it? A very vampire thing to say. But you say it nevertheless. He's visibly taken aback, and his usual furrowed brow smooths out for a moment. Then, he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression. The car starts slowing down. You look out the window and see your haven. Take care, and I'll see you around. Just pray I don't have to see you too often. You leave the car and start walking to your haven, thinking about Qadir. Can't say you're fond of him, what with the welcome he gave you and all. But after tonight, you can't say you aren't either. You're gonna need some more time to understand him, that's for sure. Ooh. But his goodbye with Emma would kind of trigger her to even look for him even more, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I said I was gonna meet D'Angelo from the last night. Also, I'll meet Angelo now. You make your way through the now familiar rusty maze of the grain terminal and up the stairs to Angelo's office. This time, however, you find the room firmly locked. There's a note pinned in the door. You rip it off and scan the cryptic lettering. Looks like D'Angelo could use your help. Better get going. As you approach the address D'Angelo gave you, a squad car passes by you, sirens blaring. Following it, you make a turn from the DeKalb Avenue. What's that? DeKalb? Okay. Sure enough, the street is awash with red light and the 4 or so police cars parked on the nearest corner. You move closer to what appears to be New York's finest convention, looking around in the hopes of spotting a familiar, if not altogether pleasant face. No such luck. True to his Nosferatu lineage, D'Angelo is nowhere to be seen. You stop on the sidewalk across the street, trying to not draw attention to yourself. All of a sudden, one of the cops standing by the entrance to the building looks straight at you. He does a double take and you instinctively look away. Bad move, you think to yourself, as you notice him making his way toward you. Drink the fuck out of the police, man. Fuck the police. No, just kidding. Wait, I thought I was hungry. There was the symbol here when I was talking to What happened to that? Um, no, it would make it. I'm just calmly waiting for him to approach. Not allowing panic to set in, you stand on your ground, doing your best ordinary citizen impression. The cop waddles across the street towards you, his sense of authority putting in that extra spring in his step. You try to remain calm, even as he puts his hand on his holster. Shit. You can't help but mouth the word. This is about to get messy. Suddenly he stops, as if instinctively realized that he was just inches away from grisly demise. He waves at you dismissively and yells in a thick Brooklyn accent. Relieved but not showing it, you put on your grumpy New Yorker face and start walking away. As you make your way past a dark alleyway, someone grabs you by the arm and pulls you into the shadows. If the smells of cigars and cheap cologne doesn't give it away, the gravely voiced sure does. Nice save. I mean, dumb to show your face around here in the first place, but still. Come on, I'm parked around the corner. Before you know it, you're sitting in the passenger seat of a busted old sedan parked half block away, giving you a nice view of the police gathering. We can take them? Ooh. I do your shadowy skulky thing? I mean, yeah. Hey, how about you do your shadowy skulky thingy? Maybe you can find some way to let me in from the inside. Shadowy skulky thingy? Jesus, kid. Without another word, he gets out of the car and heads for a nearby alley. You watch in silence as he disappears into the shadows. A minute passes, then another one, and another. You begin to worry. What if there were more cops inside? What if your moldy partner has gotten himself into trouble? Suddenly, a shadowy silhouette appears in one of the windows on the second floor. Looks like he made it after all. At least you hope it's him. The shadow waves at you and points to the corner of the building, opposite the two cops. You get out of a car and quietly make your way towards the alley. Sure enough, you find a fire you find that fire escape ladder has you find that a fire escape ladder has been conveniently dropped for you. Good work, D, you mumble to yourself as you climb to the second floor. Oh? His red drum. Oh. What is this? Torture? Anyways, finding the crime scene proves easy enough. You just follow the yellow police tape, and before you know it, you're standing in the middle of what used to be someone's living room. The place has been completely trashed. Knocked over furniture, shattered glass, the works. Looking around you, you notice a sign scribbled on a nearby wall. It reads, His gift, our fate. You're no expert in typography, but the crooked letters look similar to the ones you saw back in Red Hook. Sure enough, there's very little in terms of blood, save for the occasional stain that's bound to end up on the carpet once you toss someone through a glass coffee table. D'Angelo leans against the doorway. He seems lost in his thoughts, sucking on his oh, sucking on his cigar compulsively and mumbling to himself. You lean over a bit, trying to not make it obvious that you're listening to him. You manage to cut the last few lines of his monologue. The night's been kind to them so far, but the questions kept piling on and now they've found themselves amidst the wreckage of another life. It was up to them to sift through the debris and come up with a neat little pile of answers. Suddenly, he tenses up, as if sensing your eyes upon him. Feel free to chip in, kid. Anything catch your eye? Another piece of graffiti? No blood, same as before. No blood, okay, same as before. At least none spilled. Yeah. So what does it tell us? Someone cleaned the place up. No, they didn't. See the stain on the carpet? There's blood, alright. There's just very little of it, all things considered. Probably because most of it ended up in our killer's belly. Hmm. Why? It looks like you were right. Yeah? Well, this time I'd rather be wrong, alright? No way around it. We gotta see the body. Hmm. My thoughts exactly. The Dustborn have it bad as it is. If I'm gonna accuse one of them of breaching the Masquerade, I want solid evidence. And I mean rock fucking solid. Luckily for us, I might know someone who could get us an audience with our dearly departed. Oh. Oh. To your surprise, he pulls out a cell phone, a busted old clamshell. He flips it open and spends a good minute browsing through the contacts, muttering to himself. Finally, he makes a call. With that, he hangs up and gives you his trademark wry smile. Aren't cell phones forbidden? Only if you tell him. Look, kid, I don't use it willy nilly, alright? It's for special occasions. You don't always have the time to throw fucking rocks at windows. I'm not gonna rat on you. I mean, yeah, why would I? He shoots you a smile. For some reason, it seems less crooked than usual. It's a dangerous place for a kindred to show their face. Incessantly crowded and full of people who specialize in noticing all sorts of physical afflictions, especially the sort that make up the very essence of a vampire's existence. For instance, death. Thankfully, your business here tonight keeps you away from the hectic human hive of the ER. Instead, you follow D'Angelo to a relatively quiet part of the underground parking lot that's closest to your current point of interest, the Kings County Morgue. Having found yourself a convenient and suitably unlit spot near the hospital wall, you wait patiently for D'Angelo's contact to appear. Finally, after 30 minutes or so, a lone figure emerges from a side entrance. As the human-shaped shadow walks by, you're quick to recognize him as the EMT you saw back at the murder site. Clearly nervous, the 20-something-year-old redhead can't seem to help but look back and make sure no one is following him. Finally, he stops and lights up a cigarette. Without even looking in your direction, he takes a puff and exclaims, seemingly to no one in particular, "Room 112, you got 20 minutes." D'Angelo speaks without looking at you. You follow the fanged detective through the same door the EMT walked out of. Luckily, this wing of the hospital seems unusually empty. Still, the confidence with which D'Angelo makes his way through the white and green corridors makes it clear. He's been here before. Finally, he stops in front of one of the doors, room 112. That's your stop. The room is small, with only one oversized freezer by the wall and a single slab mounted in the center. Sure enough, the body of a middle-aged man is played out on its steel surface. Even for a dead man, he seems unnaturally pale. Extreme blood loss will do that to you. As you might, you can't help but look at the man's face. His features twisted in abject horror. This was not a peaceful death. Looking closely, you notice two small puncture wounds on the victim's neck. If ever there was a clearer sign of a vampire attack, you've yet to see it. Looking over at D'Angelo, you notice his lips moving in a familiar fashion. He's narrating again. Before he can utter an unintelligible word, you cut in with a remark. Are those teeth marks? Look at his face. Jesus, the look on his face. It's like nightmare fuel. Which, combined with the blood loss and teeth marks on his neck, confirms our hypothesis. We have a serial thin blood on our hands. As if on cue, the door swings open. A tired-looking man with a stethoscope around his neck walks in. With his eyes fixed on his clipboard, he doesn't appear to notice you. Yet. Feeding opportunity. Letting your instincts take over, you pounce on the unsuspecting doctor, plunging your fangs into his aorta. The precious liquid tastes sickeningly sweet, making you feel a bit lightheaded. It appears the good doctor has been getting his high on his own supply. It takes you a moment to get your fill, but when you're finally done, you immediately feel D'Angelo's eyes upon you. You start coming up with an excuse, but he just smirks. Robert Larson's home looks about the same as last time. No added security, and no angry dogs prowling the yard. It appears that the thin-blood primogen would rather risk another visit from his old pal D'Angelo than arouse suspicion of his family and neighbors. Which is good, considering that's what he's about to get. Sure enough, the light in Larson's study is on, and you even catch a glimpse of the man himself shuffling around the room. You look over to D'Angelo, wondering how you're going to get Larson's attention this time. Without a single word, D'Angelo walks over to a nearby street lamp and leans against it, making sure he's visible to any and all who happen to look. Looks like time for subtlety is over. It only takes a couple of minutes for Larson to take notice. You see him lean against the window and storm out of the room. In mere seconds, he's out in front and in D'Angelo's face. Listen to me, you moldy fuck. I've just had about enough of your shit. You wanna pester me? Fine, but leave my family out of it. For a moment, D'Angelo just stands there, motionless, allowing Larson to get his frustrations out. Suddenly, he grabs the thin blood by the collar, lifts him off the ground, and smashes his back against the lamppost. Oh, it's getting violent. What's happening? Now, either you give me a lead that I can follow or start remembering things you'd rather forget. For the first time since you've met him, Larson looks speechless, his eyes wide with fear. He can only mutter under his breath. You wouldn't dare. Try me, bitch. Cue awkward silence. You stand there, shifting your eyes from one vampire to the other. Guess it's time to either press the advantage or play the good cop. Let's all just calm down. Okay, let's all just calm down. I'm not gonna side to anyone. Look, we're all a bit stressed out. How about we all just take a deep breath, figuratively speaking? Oh my gosh. I tried being nice, But some people don't appreciate nice. Some people will do anything to cover their asses. Isn't that right, Robert? Pattinson? Oh my gosh, he was Robert Pattinson all along. Oh, sorry. If you want my help, put me the fuck down. With his feet back on the ground, Larson straightened his collar in a faint attempt to preserving some shred of dignity. There's a place in Manhattan, Lower East Side, one of few places in the city where people can find shelter. Hmm. D'Angelo stares at him for a moment, just long enough to make it uncomfortable. Finally, D'Angelo loosens his grip. You both watch Larson limp back to his house, looking back over his shoulder like he's gonna tell the teacher on you. You look to your partner, meaning to ask what the whole things you'd rather forget deal was. As if sensing your curiosity, D'Angelo cuts in with a preemptive mutter. As you reach the address Larson gave you find yourself standing in front of what looks like an old garage. On the outside, the place looks as uninteresting as it gets. You'd think it's abandoned, if not for the few barely working lights illuminating its shabby facade. Once you're inside, however, if ever there was a place worthy of being called a wretched hive of scum and villainy, this is probably it. The room is littered with drunks and crackheads, human and thin blood alike, their minds lost in their cruel little worlds, their bodies splayed out across the floor. D'Angelo leans over and whispers in your ear, "I'll cover the back door. You stay near the front. Let's look around and see what we can find." Before you can ask what exactly you're supposed to be looking for, D'Angelo disappears into the shadows. Wait, why do I still have this? I thought I've already fed. I still have the symbol. Oh, this blood spatter. Yeah, I just look around quietly. Doing your best to blend in with the crowd, which is fairly difficult, considering your upright position, you slowly make your way across the large room. Not really knowing what you're looking for, you focus on the details. A knowing smirk, a hateful stare, anything that looks even the slightest bit suspicious. After a dozen or so empty stares, you're almost ready to give up when suddenly, something catches your eye. A young, skinny woman hunched in the corner of the room. She gives you a bewildered look, a 1,000-yard stare that tells you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's her. Wait, is this Julie? As you walk towards her, D'Angelo emerges from the shadows right next to you. Nice catch. He kneels down beside her. You can tell he's trying to sound as comforting as possible, but with his gravely timbre, it's not really working out. "Hey, it's okay. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk." Oh, I thought it was Julie, but it's not. My bad. Okay. "No, don't talk. Too loud, too loud." She seems halfway out of it. It's like the lights are on, but whoever's inside is stumbling around after one hell of a bender. Sana from Twice? Oh my god. No, just kidding. Suddenly, you hear the door swing open behind you. Even though the night is fairly warm, a cold chill runs down your spine. You look towards the entrance. There is a woman standing there and something about her just screams kindred. Even though she seems comically overdressed for the situation, somehow, You don't feel like cracking a smile. Whoever she is, you can tell she means business. She starts making her way to the back of the room, not making any effort to sidestep any of the junkies and drunks. They all know well enough to get out of her way. Acting out of bravery or sheer stupidity, you walk up to her. She looks at you as if you were something she just scraped off her shoe. You smile nervously, without even knowing it. Hey, what's a girl like you doing in this space? As soon as you open your mouth, her hand shoots out, grabbing you by the throat. Oh? The woman looks at you, tilting her head as if examining a curious species of insect. Suddenly, her eyes shift as she notices something behind you. Her face turns from disgusted curiosity to sheer annoyance. You. Wait, she kinda looks like Sophie. Or not. Ah, wait. I do remember a Valerie name. So yeah, maybe this is her. Maybe this is the Valerie. Hey Val, that's my assistant you got there. Do you mind? She rolls her eyes, you feel the grip on your neck loosen, and you awkwardly fall to your feet. She makes her way towards D'Angelo, pushing you aside like a rag doll. A blood hunt? What does that mean? Blood hunt, a punishment sentencing a vampire to final death at the fangs of their peers. The code of kindred and the system for punishing transgression is the law of retaliation. Oh. Don't play coy, Genie. The manslayer, I know she's here. A blood hunt has begun, by order of the prince herself. The girl is to meet her final death. Hold your horses, honey. I'm conducting an investigation. Oh. Clit measuring contest? That's that's my first time to see that. Anyways. He steps aside in a comically exaggerated fashion. You look at the corner where she last saw Santa, but find no trace of the girl. Well, I'll be. I could swear she was just here. Valerie looks at D'Angelo. She smiles softly, but you can tell she's trying very hard not to rip his head off. Without another word, she turns on her heel and storms out. D'Angelo waves his hand in your general direction. Come on, kid, let's get out of this shithole. As you emerge from said shithole, you feel the cool night breeze caress your face. It's soothing and almost makes you forget how shitty the last few hours have been. Almost. One question. Who the hell is this Valerie? Scourge? What's a scourge? Oh, wow. Okay. I'll figure some stuff out and keep looking for our girl. Feel free to swing by the office in a night or two. And with that, he stumbles off into the distance, not even bothering to keep to the shadows. It really has been a rough night. Okay.